Dallas ISD 2022 State of the District presented by Linebarger Attorneys at Law. I'm Dominic Patermo, a 6th grader at Henry W. Longfellow Career Exploration Academy.
And I'm Tristan Whitfield, a 5th grader at Paul L. Dunbar Learning Center.
In case you don't recognize us, we are the 2021 and 2022 winners of the MLK Junior Oratory Competition. That's right. You're looking at the only winners in the history of the competition who delivered their speeches before a virtual audience. But that's okay, because we have an audience today.
We're thrilled you've joined us in the citywide celebration of Dallas ISD's resilience, innovation, and progress. The past 2 years have presented the chance for the district to show what it's really made of. And families across the city are experiencing firsthand how Dallas ISD owns its responsibility to ensure the safety and success of students and staff.
There have been challenges for sure, but together we've persevered. Our students have been resilient. Our teachers have gone above and beyond the call of duty. Our operations staff has redefined what it means to be prepared, and our leaders have been nimble and decisive. And you, our supporters, our partners, our advocates, our friends, have been right there with us every step of the way, cheering us on as we make bold moves and daring efforts to build a premier urban school district.
Next, to commemorate our journey of excellence is a student performance that epitomizes the Dallas ISD spirit. Please welcome to the stage Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts.
The last one standing, 2 hands in the air, I'm a champion.
You'll be looking up at me when it's over. I live for the battle, I'm a soldier. Yeah,
I'm a fighter like Rocky. Put you flat on your back like Ali.
yeah, I'm the greatest, I'm the strongest. Pay my dues, can't lose, I'm my own. Yeah. Hey, I've been working my whole life.
They knock me down and get up again.
I am the
Champion, you're gonna know my name. Can't hurt me now, can't feel the pain. I was made for this, yeah, I was born to win.
I am the champion. And when I write my story, they're gonna say I did it for the glory.
But I didn't do it all for the fame, yeah. I did it for the love of the game, yeah.
And this is my chance I'm taking. All the old records I'm breaking.
All you people watching on TV, just go ahead and put your bets on me. Hey,
I've been working my whole life to see my name in life.
Invincible, unbreakable, unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down and get up again.
I am a
Champion, you're gonna know my name. Can't hurt me now, can't feel the pain. I was made for this, yeah, I was born to win. I am a champion. Oh,
Dallas! The C is for the courage I possess through the trauma. H is for the hurt, but it's all for the honor. A is for my attitude, working through the patience. Money comes and goes, so the M is for motivation. Gotta stay consistent, the P is to persevere. I is for integrity, innovative career. The O is optimistic, open and never shut. And the N is necessary, cause I'm never giving up. See, they asked me how I did it, I just did it from the heart. Question my competition, been doing it from the start. To say that every champion is all about his principles, Dallas ISD.
I am invincible. invincible, unbreakable, unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down and get up again. I am a champion. You're gonna know my name. Can't hurt me now, can't feel the pain. I was made for this, yeah, I was born to win. I am a champion. Unbreakable, unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down and get up again. I am a champion. Gonna know my name. Can't hurt me now. Can't feel the pain. I was made for this. I was born to win. I am a champion.
And thanks to the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears, the entire city of Dallas is feeling like a champion too. It's an exciting time in DISD. From the football field to the classroom, we're making history and changing the course of it, and I'm taking it all in. I'm Robert, a senior at Innovation Design Entrepreneurship Academy at James W. Fannin, also known as Ideal. As an aspiring writer, poet, and photographer, I'm drawn to the beauty that unfolds when ordinary people work together to achieve extraordinary outcomes. Needless to say, I have plenty of motivation to draw from right here at Dallas ISD. Through passionate teachers and rigorous projects, I'm learning how to think creatively and work strategically and make bold ideas a reality.
Speaking of bold ideas, I'm convinced that I will make a difference in this world. I'm Helena, a senior at W.T. White High School today, but a traveling neonatal nurse tomorrow. My future is bright, moving, and daring. I'll travel the world to care for babies in need and give hope to their families wherever they are. It's a path that's not intended for the faint of heart, but because of the education I'm receiving today, I'm confident that I have both the heart and skills to do the job and do it well. As teen school board vice president and president of my school's chapter, Health Occupation Students of America, I'm already learning the leadership skills to do the work and to bring others along with my journey. I'm learning firsthand that bold vision demands bold leadership and emboldened compassion.
While Helena is preparing to rescue babies around the world, I'll be preparing to care for children from a surgeon's table. I'm Lily, a senior at the School of Health Professions at the Ivana Ewell Townview Magnet Center. As you may recall from last year's State of the District, I'm planning to attend college and study to become a pediatric cardiothoracic surgeon. And while a lot has happened in the past year, my commitment to help children through medicine still remains. So I've been putting in the work, maximizing both virtual and in-person learning to ensure I'm prepared to walk on at Trinity University in the fall. Big steps lie ahead, but Dallas ISD has given me the tools to be bold in taking them.
Bold, bold, bold. I'll tell you what's bold. Being a junior on this stage with these three incredible seniors. Everyone give them a round of applause real quick. And if you don't mind, I'll grab some of that for myself too. I'm Noah, and I hail from the great Woodrow Wilson High School, where I've managed to become the first class president from freshman, sophomore, and even junior year. That may not sound like much to some, but believe me, it's a big deal. Earning the respect of my peers while casting vision for how we can make a difference in small yet meaningful ways is hard work. Thankfully, I'm surrounded by campus administrators, teachers, coaches, and mentors who not only model compelling leadership daily, but shape and call out the leader in me, being encouraged and released to find creative solutions that meet the needs of our student body and surrounding community is preparing me for future innovation and community building. And for that, I'm grateful. Next, we'll hear from a bold advocate for the students and staff of our district, School Board President, Trustee Ben Mackey.
Aren't these students phenomenal? Please, let's give them all another round of applause. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that, but I'm so glad to be here and so thankful that all of you were able to make it today. After a riveting virtual experience last year, doesn't it feel great to be back in person together today as a sign of solidarity and support for our kids? The return to in-person learning has presented the district with many opportunities to innovate, to respond, and to improve. We've been stepping up in each of those ways. We've had many accomplishments that you'll hear about today, and we've had some amazing triumphs that highlight the strength of this community and has been displayed through so many of your generous donations, support, and just rallying behind Dallas ISD. At this time, I'd like to recognize a few of my fellow Dallas ISD trustees who are here today. Trustees Maxie Johnson, Edwin Flores, and Justin Henry. Will you please stand? We also have several Dallas City Council members here. Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Jaime Resendez, Councilmember Gay Donnell Willis, Councilmember Tanel Atkins, Councilmember Casey Thomas, Councilmember Paula Blackman, Councilmember Jesse Moreno, Councilmember Adam Basildua, Councilmember Omar Narvaez, and Councilmember Carolyn King Arnold. Would all of you please stand and be recognized? And we have a group of commissioners and other officials from Dallas County. Commissioner Dr. Elba Garcia, Commissioner Dr. Teresa Daniel, Commissioner John Wiley Price, Judge Juan Hasso, Judge Valencia Nash, Judge Clay Jenkins, and County Tax Assessor Collector John R. Ames. Would each of you please stand? And finally, we have a number of officials from the state and the national level. Senator Royce West, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson, State Representative John Turner, State Representative Retta Bowers, State Representative Carl Sherman, and State Board of Education Commissioner Aisha Davis. Please stand. Thank you all for your service. And on behalf of the Dallas ISD Board of Trustees, I want to thank everyone for joining us on the boldest journey of our time, the journey to capture the hearts and minds of every single student who enters our schools and encourage them and prepare them to do the work required for success. Your presence here today serves as an inspiration to us all and affirms that if we work together, achievement is possible for every single student.
As you continue to enjoy your lunch, allow us to introduce ourselves. I'm Adrian, a senior at the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy.
And I'm Kendall, a senior from Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts. We'd like to acknowledge a few additional special guests. Dallas College Chancellor Justin Lonan, Dallas College Board members Diana Flores and Phil Ritter.
We're delighted to share briefly about an invaluable channel for support within the district. Numerous resources are made to students and teachers alike through the efforts of the Dallas Education Foundation, the nonprofit philanthropic arm of the district. As an inspiring activist and advocate myself, I have a deep appreciation for the work DEF does to ensure that no student within our district goes unseen or unsupported.
DEF highlights the humanity in the works our teachers and leaders engage in, providing a face to their efforts and inviting others, including many of you, to write and even underwrite their stories. DEF's commitment is fascinating work in my view, as I plan to study culture, anthropology, and theater, with the goal of creating evocative art and sharing compelling stories that move people to feel, reflect, and make a difference. Next, we will watch a short video that highlights the impacts DEF has made over the past year, and then we'll hear from Mita Havlik, Director of the Dallas Education Foundation.
The mission of the Dallas Education Foundation is to inspire community investment to accelerate student success.
Hello, Dallas Education Foundation. I know firsthand how important teachers are.
It's our honor to host this event that shines the light on the incredibly talented and dedicated teachers of DISD and helps us raise money for the Dallas Education Foundation.
This is such an honor. This is like the coolest thing ever.
This is the heart of teaching.
And thank you to these starving artists that are our teachers. What a phenomenal work out there. Let's thank them.
Reliant, once again, is with us to help us out.
We are grateful for the support that the Dallas Education Foundation has given Dallas Hybrid Prep, and we know that their investment in education is real.
The idea behind the scholarship was to memorialize her memory and all the skills that she had.
I can't thank you enough for the job that you do for our school district.
Atmos Energy knows what it's like to have their folks work around the clock. They partnered with the Dallas Education Foundation to provide each of you with a gift card to Cavender's Western Wear.
It feels good to be recognized for what we do here.
And I just am so appreciative of the Dallas Education Foundation.
Well, this donation represents a huge kickstart to this campaign and making it possible for our kids to have a ballpark that they're proud of.
We are extremely indebted and appreciative that folks care about North Dallas High School, our student athletes, and our well-being and environment. Thank you very much.
Part of what we do at the Dallas Education Foundation is to ensure that every student can achieve their highest potential.
We are so grateful for the Dallas Education Foundation.
Dallas Education Foundation, they are a blessing.
DEF does a great job of holding the business community accountable for the success of these kids.
In terms of equity, we are a role model for the entire nation.
The future of Dallas ISD is very bright.
If we all invest in the future of Dallas, imagine the power that our students and our kids will have when they enter the workforce. I'm really excited.
Thank you, and welcome everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Mita Havlik, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director of the Dallas Education Foundation. Like you, our foundation continues to be inspired with the district story. The story of schools that serve as homes to our kids, the tales of teachers who put themselves aside for the benefit of their students, and the students who are the future of Dallas. Dallas ISD dared to embark on initiatives beyond the expected, from funding full-day pre-K 3 and 4 to creating the Office of Racial Equity. Our P-TECH program and career institutes provide access to all students, resulting in tangible opportunities for post-secondary success. Like Dallas ISD, our foundation has chosen to be bold. We've enhanced literacy initiatives, enriched entrepreneurship class offerings, and driven the development of a virtual platform that immerses our students in their learning. We are grateful to you for joining us on this journey. It takes a community to educate a child. Beyond curriculum and classroom, our students need equity, access, and to be exposed to worlds where they don't live. Our students are our future neighbors, fellow parents, employees, and employers. It is our job to ensure their future is bright and their hopes are attainable. Our mission is to inspire you, our community, to continue your investment and take it deeper so that we may collectively accelerate our students to success. So I ask you to please use a QR code that you'll find in your program and give today. But beyond that, we ask you to meet with us so we can partner together to accelerate student success. Together, let's power the future of Dallas.
Our presenting sponsor, Linebarger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson, is that example of partnership. We are incredibly thankful for their deep investment in our students and graduates. But instead of me telling you their story, please help me welcome Linebarger partner and Dallas ISD alum, Pamela Pope-Lee.
Mita, thank you for that introduction. It is with great pleasure that I stand here in my beautiful brown skin, my very curvy figure, and my beautiful salt and pepper curly kinky hair to represent our law firm, Linebarger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson. We are proud to be the presenting sponsors of the 2022 Dallas ISD State of the District Luncheon. More importantly, I am proud to stand here as a representative of a Dallas ISD success story. I am one of those champions they sang about earlier. It started in 1963 when Leonard and Mildred Pope gave birth to their beautiful baby girl, Pamela. That's me. They saw fit, Dr. Kenny Hosa, to raise me in South Oak Cliff, Texas. They entrusted Dallas ISD with my education, and I am a proud graduate of South Oak Cliff High School, the home of the Golden Bears. Fast forward to today, I stand here as an owner of the law firm that for over 20 years have hired student interns from Dallas ISD and who routinely invests in the mission of the Dallas Education Foundation. It is important to us to support, accelerate, propel, and empower Dallas ISD students to be college and career ready and to ultimately become productive and contributing members of this community. As I prepare to take my seat, I want to challenge the greater Dallas business community to join our law firm, invest in the students and the teachers of Dallas ISD by making your donation to the Dallas Education Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Pamela, and thank you, Linebarger Attorneys at Law. Next, please welcome to the stage Dallas ISD's Chief of Staff and Racial Equity, Dr. Pamela Lear.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to personally thank each of you for being here today to support us as we share our goals and our accomplishments with Dallas ISD. Over the years, I've had a wonderful opportunity to work with so many of our teachers and our principals, and today I'd like to recognize our teachers and our principals of the year. So please stand and wave your hand when I call your name. So our primary category Teacher of the Year winner, Jose Armendariz. From John J. Pershing Elementary School. Our secondary category Teacher of the Year winner is Seneca Denman from Bowd Story Middle School. And our Choice Magnet category Teacher of the Year winner is Jonathan Tadizi from Judge Barefoot Sanders Law Magnet at Yvonne A. Ewell Townview Center. So we also have our outstanding Principal of the Year winners here with us today, so please help me join in recognizing them. And our first is primary category Principal of the Year winner is Raimundo Cervantes from Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary School. Our secondary category Principal of the Year winner is Joseph Sotelo from Hillcrest High School. And our Choice Magnet category winner is Ruby Ramirez from the School for the Gifted and Talented at Pleasant Grove. Can I ask all of our Teacher of the Year and Principal of the Year finalists to stand for just a minute? And audience, if you would please help me give them a huge round of applause. So these top educators are on the front lines every day, impacting and changing our students' lives, and we are immensely proud that they call Dallas ISD home. At this time, I have the distinct honor and pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker today. He really needs no introduction, but certainly deserves and respects an appreciation for 13 years of bold, innovative, and dedicated leadership in Dallas ISD. Having established and guided the execution of numerous game-changing initiatives, including creating a universal curriculum, expanding dual language programming, substantially expanding high-quality early learning offerings, shepherding the district's Teacher Excellence Initiative and accelerating campus excellence program, building a robust early college and pathways to technology initiative, and creating 4 career institutes where students access cutting-edge curriculum for 22nd century opportunities, establishing one of the nation's first school district racial equity departments, and leading the historic passage of the largest bond in Texas history to improve the district's facility and technology infrastructure. Please help me welcome and celebrate Big Papa himself from, and I can't say it like him, so Oak Cliff, Texas, Dr. Michael Hinojosa.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you. All right. I haven't said anything yet, please. Okay. Hey, they got me on a timer. Thank you. I was going to tell you, actually what I was going to say is I was going to ask all the beautiful people to stand up, but y'all already did. And I thought that's the only way I could get a standing ovation. So I don't see my presentation, so we're really, oh, here it is now, no longer in trouble. So first of all, thank you. This is a great city, many great people in this city. A lot of people know that this school district raised me, and the city and the Parks and Recreation raised me. And so I'm very proud to be from this community. I'm very proud to be from Oak Cliff. So anyway, thank you, and honor goes to you for being here. And also, I always talk about them, but they're never here. But I want to thank my wife and my 3 sons, if they'll please stand and be recognized for putting up with me for all. And please don't sit by Taylor, because he'll finish every one of my lines. So it's kind of embarrassing. So first of all, somebody said, how have you been a superintendent for 27 years and 13 in Dallas? And I said, I said, how do you sleep at night? And I said, well, I sleep like a baby. I wake up every 4 hours crying. And then I hit the bottle, and I go back to sleep. No, this clear liquid. So it's been quite a journey. And when I met my lovely wife, we were in Grand Prairie, and I've dragged her all over the state. And I even dragged her to Georgia. And when the board blessed me and asked me to come back, my wife and I went out and celebrated. And we were having a long conversation, and I asked her, babe, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think we'd be living this kind of life? And she said, babe, I hate to tell you, you're not in my wildest dreams. That's why I can't retire. I got to do something. She said the house is not big enough for the both of us. Okay, so I better get started because I'm on a timer. I remember 1.0 It was a cold, rainy morning in December, and the board got together and we wanted to have a little clarity. Our mission was too long. Your mission is your purpose. And so we got it down to 6 words or less, educating all students for success. And so that is still our purpose. Our vision was to seek to be a premier urban district. And people laughed at us. This is why they laughed at us. In the 1990s, we had 5 superintendents in 5 years and 1 went to federal prison. And then Dr. Moses came in and he made the job doable for 3.5 years. And then he left. And then when I came in, we struggled early on with some issues, but we got some momentum going, and it was going pretty good. But one of our legislators, I'm not going to say her name, but her initials are, oh no, my wife said I can't say them. I can't do that. They would file a bill every session to break Dallas up into 5 districts because it was too big to manage. During 1.0, we had this plan of Dallas becoming this premier urban district. We had the Road to Broad. The Broad Foundation honored the best urban district in the country. 10 years ago, the Broad gave up. They couldn't find any good urban districts. 5 years ago, you asked the question, there were 2 urban districts that were great. Miami-Dade County. They have Key Biscayne. They have all of those other areas, South Beach, and Denver. Denver also is a county district. It's like if we had Highland Park and we had Coppell and we had, well, we don't need them. We're all right. We're good. And then 5 years ago, that narrative changed too, because one of those fell off. But the thing that all 3 of these have in common, Alberto Carvalho was a superintendent in Miami from 08 to 21. Denver had Secretary Bennett for 5 years, Tom Boasberg for 10 years, and then Susana Cordova. So when you have stability in leadership, you can finally get some things done. So now we're in that conversation. Dallas is there with Miami. But I'm going to try to convince you in the next 20 minutes that Dallas ISD is going to be the main pipeline for the workforce, and we will become the chief economic mobility institution. And we're only fortunate to be here thanks to Diana Flores, Joe May, and the outstanding Dallas College that has really been our partner in a lot of this journey. So it's been quite amazing. Let's give them a huge round of applause. I think at the end of this, you're going to see that it's all about partners and relationships. Strategic planning, rest in peace. I learned that from Tom Peters way back in the 1990s. A strategic plan is a 5-year plan. How many of you know where you're going to be 5 years from now? How many of you 5 years ago knew we were going to have pandemic 1.0, a tornado, pandemic 2.0, a snowmageddon pandemic? None of those were on my calendar, much less my strategic plan. However, we do believe in strategic initiatives and strategic thinking. The difference is when I went to Georgia, I went to University of Georgia Business School for an opportunity to learn, and they taught us that strategic thinking is 18 months. And every quarter you pierce the next quarter. So things that you didn't know, now you can see, you know what you're going to be doing personally and professionally in 18 months. Now, these things that are now our strategic initiatives, some of them weren't even around 5 years ago. They weren't even around 3 years ago. So that's how you learn to innovate. And I tell my staff all the time, incrementalism is innovation's worst enemy. That's one of the Hinojosa-isms that I've learned to live by. Dallas ISD has great schools. Dallas ISD has great schools, great neighborhood schools. And yeah, it got quiet in here. And I know that because all 3 of my sons went to Dallas ISD schools. And I went to Dallas ISD schools. So we got to have some skin in the game. We have some great neighborhood schools. Our magnet schools are the best in the country, have been forever. And now we've got new types of schools. What we want you to do, we want you to pick your neighborhood school. But if you don't, we don't want you to pick a home school, private school, charter school, no school, fool, you got to go to school. So we're going to give you options. But let me also tell a sad reality. And these principals know because a lot of people come window shop. And they walk in and they look at our kids and they don't enroll. We don't apologize for our demographics. We're 94% ethnic minority, 72% Latino, 21% African American, 47% English learners. We have 71,000 English learners. We have more English learners than El Paso has students, than San Antonio has students, than San Francisco has students, than Frisco has students. And we're proud of all of our kids, and we make sure that our kids get the opportunity. But if you can't get beyond race and class, you won't give us a chance. And that's the sad reality. And this is still the tale of two cities. You fly into this big, beautiful city in this big, beautiful hotel, and yet we have a lot of people that are underserved. And I'm going to argue that the next 10 years, that's going to be over. We had this epiphany that our students that are in advanced placement, international baccalaureate, they're going to college in spite of us. Either they have agency, their parents have agency, or their teacher has agency, they can get them across the finish line. Most of you are those students right there. We have international baccalaureate at Woodrow, Hillcrest, coming to Adamson, and now at Paul Quinn College. You have IB at Paul Quinn College, and Dr. Sorrells just told all these kids that have enrolled in his school, a public middle school that's going to become a high school, they have automatic admission to Paul Quinn when they graduate from that. That gave me chills when he told them that. All right, let's keep going. So we also bumped into this other thing. And here's the story of Dallas College helping us. I'm embarrassed to tell you that in 2009, only 7% of our kids got any kind of post-secondary credential 6 years after high school. This past year in 2020, we had 628 kids, 72% of the kids that were in the program finished with their associate's degree. This year, 910. 10% of our senior class walked across the stage with their associate's degree before. And I believe in accountability, but let me tell you something, Senator West. 33% of these kids that graduate with an associate's degree failed 8th grade STAR. That means they shouldn't have even been to 9th grade. And 4 years later, they have a degree. Let's hear the story.
P-Tech is definitely one of those things that could be for some the most grounding thing in their life. I know for me it definitely was. You're trying to figure out which way's up, but then you get to P-Tech and it was so simple to just go ahead and sit here and say, I'm going to do it.
I decided to enroll in the early college program because it allowed me to get 2 years of college at the same time as I was doing 4 years of high school. So I figured, why not get ahead in life?
I had been a straight A student my entire life. In 8th grade, I was going through a lot of difficult times at that time. My mother and father went through a 12-year custody battle. During that time, we were experiencing a lot of chronic homelessness. I actually enrolled in Sam Tasby under a different alias, so my father wouldn't find us. I told them my story, I told them my journey, and I told them that I'm ready to put my full foot forward into this program.
So when I first heard about the P-Tech program, it caught my attention because I was able to graduate with my high school diploma and my associate's degree at the same time.
What do you want to be doing when you walk across the stage and get your high school diploma? Do you want to be continuing on to college? Do you want to be starting a job that's already paying you $60,000, $70,000 a year?
As soon as I graduate, I get a much higher than average starting pay. Buying my dream car of 8 years at the age of 19. Purchasing a home at the age of 20. Just all around investing in my future.
So my position right now is an IT web developer in American Airlines. My parents have been through a lot for me to get through this process. So it's not only for me, but for them as well.
You guys have no idea how actually impactful it was. And when it comes to my family, I'm now this source of pride that you guys have turned me into. And it's amazing.
And I am shocked. I am shocked, Justin, how many people don't know about P-Tech. How many people don't know about P-Tech? And these are our partners. We have some tremendous partners with P-Tech, and they're amazing. We've lost one And we have 90 in P-Tech, and then we have another 90 in another program I'm about to tell you about. And this is the kind of jobs they do in the summer now. These are the internships that they get, and look at the kind of jobs that they're having. And that Latina girl that was the last one to speak, she worked at American Airlines, and she solved a huge problem for them in American Airlines. She's 18 years old, and she's trilingual. They had a problem in the Dominican Republic. She speaks English, Spanish, and code. So they hired her. She's making $58,000 a year with 401k and free flights all over the world. That's why we're going to change this community. Look how many kids got hired out of P-Tech this past year. That's just the beginning. Parkland, thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioner Price. Hiring our babies, brother. Look at that, Encore. Thomson & Reuters hired 40 of them. The only complaint we got about P-Tech is that you can only take 125 kids per grade per school. And we have, every high school except Woodrow has P-Tech. The only complaint was from the kids that we didn't get in. What about us? So this is what we came up with the Career Institutes. This wasn't a gleam in our eye 5 years ago. Listen to this story.
Yes, sir, I can hear you now. All right, I'm gonna go over a little material. We're gonna have a test. Today is Tuesday. I am the Plumbing Technology 1 instructor. I also teach principles of construction. You know, when I was young, I didn't have any idea what I wanted to do other than play sports. Once those days were over, I didn't know what direction I wanted to go. Did I want to teach? Did I want to coach? I really wish I had an opportunity to do something like this, or to at least see something like this.
Put your nose down because you're high. You want to be around like 1,200 feet. When I was younger, I didn't have this kind of opportunity here in high school. If I had that opportunity, you know, I would save a lot of money. I would be ahead. We are partnered with AOPA, that stands for Aircraft Owners Pilots Association.
We try to give them the basic skills to be able to work and obtain a plumbing license.
The flight training is really expensive, but this program allows students to get scholarships and to get flight time here in high school.
Even if you don't end up working in that industry, you're going to learn something about working with tools.
The Career Institutes is going to set the standard for many schools. There's a lot of opportunity as far as scholarship-wise and employment-wise. Once they're out of high school, they'll be almost done with their flight training.
I'm excited about getting my drone pilot license, get into college faster, and a way better process. I'm also looking forward to getting my FAA certification.
Working with tools makes me feel really confident. I know what I'm doing and I have the proper training that my teacher gave me. And that's an awesome environment. It's gonna help you in your future.
This is a great opportunity for any and everyone.
Here's the hockey stick chart. Right now, we have freshmen, sophomores, and juniors all over town getting these opportunities. By 2024, we'll have 37% of our kids, over 3,000 kids, getting these certificates that'll give them a job making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year. If you're a freshman in Dallas and you're not in P-Tech or advanced placement, you have to take either principles of technology or principles of construction. And we'll put you in the path, and here's who's gonna, these are our industry partners over here. Look, HKS, the home of Jerry World. Yeah, they're training our kids how to create another Jerry World. More and more. City of Dallas, they need these people in these industries. We're an industry partner as well. Well, let's now talk about something nobody wants to talk about after legislation, Senator.
I didn't vote for it.
Okay. Representative Turner, I don't think he voted for it either. Everybody's for diversity, equity, and inclusion until you get a lot of noise. This board was unanimous in passing our policy, and they stuck to it. And they don't apologize. We don't apologize. And that law went into effect. We told the board, we trained us on cultural competence. Then the law came in, and the board said, you better hurry, fool. We had to train everybody by September 1 before the law went, because, you know, I know how to stay out of trouble with the law. So Some people want to talk about equity, but we do equity. Some people a person wants to be principal, but he doesn't want to do principal. Somebody wants to be superintendent, but they don't want to do superintendent. Some people believe in equity until somebody says boo. Not us. Not us. Look at that. Dual language, early learning, ACE, all of that. And while we're still behind, our African American students are made greater gains than the state, and so have our English learners. Let's hear a little story about that.
Year after year, we've seen our African American students not performing at the same level as their peers.
It's very crucial that we close those reading gaps. Our department provides reading intervention for students that are at a disadvantage with reading.
We want to target 4th and 5th grade students because before you get to middle school where things really start to change, then we want to ensure that you have a firm foundation in reading.
Not being able to read on your grade level, that can kind of diminish your self-confidence, your self-worth. And so our job is to equip them so that they can feel confident.
I feel more prepared in class because sometimes my teacher, she picks me to read out loud.
Every day, as a student, I know that I'm going to receive someone who believes in me, culturally relevant literature. I know that I'm going to have some friends, and we're all going to learn together.
The reason I like to read to the person I read to is because when I get done, they actually say, "Oh, I'm proud of you," or "You did so good." It makes me feel good because it's telling me that I'm a good reader.
Equity means I'm going to intentionally diagnose what your needs are and prescribe the remedy for you.
We are empowering students to be able to thrive. And so with that, I'm driven every day knowing that I'm giving it my all and pouring into the future.
We got a long, long way to go. And yeah, this is my last time, but the board and the staff believe in this, and we're going to keep it going. Early learning, we got so much data that shows that if the kids that go to our pre-K are 2 grade levels ahead of those who don't. We're actually even starting a different one called Start Strong Dallas, Project Legacy 2050. You know, I'm going to embarrass my family right now. My son, I was a 21-year-old dad. Alex was my son, and that marriage didn't work out, but we both loved him, and he actually has a higher IQ than my other 2 boys. But I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But he graduated from Texas Tech in 3 years. And then I was making fun of my wife because she was reading to those other 2 clowns before they were born. They just went to Harvard and Princeton. She's laughing at me now. So read, talk, and play. And how many of our 0 to 3 kids get to read, talk, and play at home? That's coming next. Well, Dallas is making some noise, and it's because we got great leaders. These are our principals that have been designated master principals. Look at the beautiful diversity. We got all colors, sizes, shapes. That's the way we are. We are diverse. And HEB has given us $8 million to do a leadership pipeline. So stay tuned. We're just starting that one, but stay tuned. HEB is helping us out. The debate over TEI paying teachers is over. Our teacher compensation went from 53 to 63. We're keeping 95% of the best teachers, and we got teachers going to toughest schools. We got one teacher going to make $131,000 this year. We got 47 that are going to make over $100,000, and a quarter of our teachers are going to make over 70. My wife taught for 30 years, and the most she ever made was 60. And she took all the rest of mine, so don't feel sorry for her. Dual language, when I first got hired, we had 1,300 classrooms that had no certified teacher. We had to go to Puerto Rico, Mexico, and Spain to get teachers. Now we just got to go to Oak Cliff and Pleasant Grove because Dallas College is helping us grow our own. And the goal is not to be bilingual. The goal is to be biliterate. And if you're white, black, or 2nd or 3rd generation Latino and you don't speak Spanish, you can become, in our 2-way dual language courses, we even have them at 12 secondary campuses. I know I'm running out of time here, so. The pandemic has been tough, but our results are going to be better than other people. It's still not good. We've lost ground. So we took care of the health and access, thanks to the county and the city and the AT&T and Spectrum and others to help us get access. But now the hard part of recovery and acceleration comes. And thanks to you, the voters, we got lots of money to build a lot of buildings. Everything you've seen so far that's been built is not even part of the 2020 bond. We have $1.4 billion in design right now. And let's look at some of these buildings. I've been a suburban superintendent 3 times. All the buildings in the burbs look like this. They didn't look like this when I was a kid, when I was a teacher, or during Hinojosa 1.0. But now look at them. Look at South Oak Cliff, state champions. You gave them, it's like, I have high expectations. I expect everybody in this room that can do 50 push-ups. Well, some of y'all can, David. I don't know about the rest of them. But if you give me a year and you give you weight training and nutrition, I bet everybody can do 50 push-ups in a year. That's what happened to SOC. They finally got tools, and look what they did. One more story.
I was raised in Colombia, not that many opportunities. I became a medical doctor. What I did is use education to fulfill my dream. And when this school came to life, I said, oh my God, I can do both. I can have science and education in one building.
The Biomedical School at UT Southwestern is a new transformation school for Dallas ISD launching in August of 2022. The curriculum is all going to be aligned to biomedicine starting in pre-K at a school that's in the medical district of Dallas.
I just want them to be exposed through this curriculum to all the possibilities in biomedical science.
From the beginning, everyone that heard about this project thought it was incredible. It has definitely created a buzz. Science starts here.
The students in Dallas ISD now will have the opportunity to ask actual doctors, actual nurses, how they do what they do. What are the skills they need? And they will be able to practice those skills.
We know hands-on learning with kids is fun. Never underestimate the ability for a child's motivation and excitement to change their learning path.
We have to bring that passion for learning again into the students. This is the place where we're going to create the future critical thinkers.
Yes, we're opening a school on the campus of UT Southwestern, and they had more applicants than Dealey and Booker T. And this guy was a principal at Stevens Park. Before that, he was a surgeon in Columbia. So I'm not running off without we have a healthy fund balance, we have choices. We are creating a new narrative for urban education. You can be successful in urban education. Just give us a chance and come join this journey with us. And there are some great things that are going to stay together because we got a lot of, the difference between Hinojosa 1.0 and 2.0, in 1.0 they didn't believe we could succeed. And nobody tried to help us, not that much. Now this time, we got so much help. How can we fail? You saw the themes and the partners of everybody that we had. So I always close my speeches. Yes, thank you. In conclusion, he's finally going to finish. I always talk about 3 things when I close. Every time I close a speech, I talk about the past. Be proud of who you are. You are a set of your collective experiences. Everything you've learned and struggled through, you need to be proud of. I'm proud to be an immigrant. I'm proud to be from Oak Cliff. And I'm proud to have been in Dallas ISD most of my career. In the present, be present. Nothing great happens in the absence of enthusiasm. And then in the future, right now, there's a lot of despair about the future. We had this pandemic. We got these cultural wars going on. We've got maybe a world war going on. But not me. You see, hopefully I've convinced you that we're going to finally take away of this myth, not a myth, the tale of 2 cities. When you see these kids being able to get those kind of incomes, they're going to be able to buy property. The only property that's cheap is in southern Dallas. And then they're going to be able to afford that $4 Starbucks. And then they can be able to, that 20-year-old kid bought a house. They're going to demand grocery stores in their communities, in all those areas. So why step away now? Really, I could do this for a couple more years, but I can't do it for 10 more years. Somebody else needs to pick it up.
You have been such a visionary for not only for Dallas ISD, but for districts across the state. districts across the nation who have really benefited from your bold, courageous leadership. And in honor of your 13 years here in Dallas ISD, serving our students, our staff, our parents, and our community, we want to take this minute to bookmark for a moment retiring your jersey.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That's great.
So I'd like to thank everyone for coming today and all of your continuous support. And Dr. Hinojosa, you really are a legacy. And we just 100% appreciate everything that you've given. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.